Please, you got to see this. 54 million damage with a basic skill. You cannot beat that. And I'm going to show you how you can do this. Hey everyone, Ghosted here. This is going to be my in-depth guide to my Stormclaw build for the Druid class in Diablo 4. I've actually played this build in preseason as well, and it was really fun and also good. But with the malignant hearts such as the Barber, it has actually become an OP S tier build. So to start, for this build, you're actually going to need the Great Staff of the Crone. This is a must-have for this build to work properly. So if you're having trouble getting it, just keep spamming those nightmare dungeons to find it. So for gear, starting with the helmet, I actually prefer using the Tempest Roar, but if you don't have this, I'll throw up a legendary helmet to compensate for that. The Tempest Roar is actually so good because it turns our storm skills into werewolf skills. And I'm actually going to explain why that is so good with our next unique item as well. Alright, so for our chest piece, I'm actually using another unique. It's called the Mad Wolf's Glee. But again, if you do not have this yet, I will throw up a legendary chest piece to compensate for that as well. Why I use Mad Wolf's Glee? It actually gives us 3 ranks into our werewolf skills. This is actually also going to apply to our storm skills, thanks to Tempest Roar, our unique helmet. For our gloves, we're actually using the Mighty Storm aspect. This allows our key passive, Earthen Might, to apply to our storm skills. Earthen Might is a key passive in our skill tree. I'll actually go ahead and explain this a bit more later in the video. For our pants, we're using the Disobedience aspect to increase our armor as much as we can, and just roll all damage reduction on it for more tankiness. For our boots, we're actually using the Storm Shifters aspect. This makes Hurricane give +2 ranks to our storm skills as well as our werewolf skills, which is going to equal out more damage. So back to our weapon again, this is the Crone Staff. Any rolls you get for this item is going to be good enough. But if you get high rolls to the ranks of Claw and the percentage to Storm Strike damage, you're going to notice a huge jump in DPS. Alright, on to our jewelry as well as our hearts. For the amulet, you're going to want the rapid aspect. I would recommend the highest percentage you can get possible. The best way I found to get this aspect is to actually purchase offhand weapons using obols at the Purveyor of Curiosities. And also the stats I have on my amulet work, but I would actually recommend the stats that I have in my written build guide. There will actually be a link to that in the comments. Also on your amulet, you're going to want to use the Barber Heart for a gigantic increase to damage. For our first ring, go with the Rampaging Werebeast aspect. And you're going to want every stat that you see on this ring as well. And for ring number 2, go with the Direwolf's aspect. This makes Grizzly Rage now give you movement speed, and kills will actually heal you for quite a bit. And you can use the same stats that I have on my ring, or you can use the ones from ring number 1 as well to stack up more crit and lucky hit percentage. We also use the Devious Heart and Inexorable Force to pull in enemies with Grizzly Rage, and the Vicious Heart Tempting Fate for more crit damage. You're going to want one of these in each ring. Alright, and now on to our skill tree. For our basic skills, 5 points into Claw, and then upgrade it to Wild Claw. This is our main form of damage. You'll be pressing this button a lot. Also with our unique weapon, the Crone Staff, Claw will also be using Storm Strike for us. So with that said, we're actually going to add 5 points into Storm Strike, and then upgrade it over here to Fierce Storm Strike. And again, we don't actually press Storm Strike. Claw is going to do that for us. And for my core skill, I will actually be putting 1 point into Shred, and then upgrading that over here to Primal Shred. And the reason that I upgrade Shred and use Shred as a core ability is because I like to use it as a dash or a teleport onto the next pack of enemies, and it's actually really good for closing the gap in PvP as well. And we're actually going to max out Predatory Instinct, and we're also going to max out however you want to say what this is called. Now going down to our defensive skills, we're going to be putting 1 point into Bulwark, and we're going to be upgrading that to Preserving Earthen Bulwark. Next we put 1 point into Blood Howl, and then we're going to go ahead and upgrade that to Preserving Blood Howl. You're going to be using this a lot to increase your attack speed when you do damage. Also, we're going to put 1 point into Ancestral Fortitude, And then we're going to max out Vigilant as well. Coming all the way down to the Wrath skill now, we're going to be putting 1 point into Elemental Exposure. After that, we're going to put 1 point into Endless Tempest as well. Pretty much so we can go ahead and max out Bad Omen. Then after that, we're going to put 1 point into Hurricane. And then we're going to go ahead and upgrade that to Savage Hurricane for some damage reduction. And then we're going to go down, put 1 point into Neurotoxin, max out Envenom, and we're also going to max out Toxic Claws. Onto our ultimate skills, we're going to max out the passive Defiance. And then we're also going to be maxing out Natural Disaster. Also, fully upgrade Grizzly Rage, our ultimate. And lastly is our key passive. It's going to be Earthen Might. And this passive is godly and guarantees us critical strikes. And also with the legendary aspect from our gloves, it's going to be working on our storm skills instead of earth skills. All right, heading into our spirit boons, I like to start with wariness for damage reduction from elites. Going into swooping attacks for more attack speed overall. And then after that, I pick up Avian Wrath for even more crit damage. I then drop down and get Calamity to extend the duration of our ultimate. And then lastly, we get Calm Before the Storm, so we have a chance to reduce the cooldown of our ultimate. Alright, so for our Paragon board, I want to let you know I actually take no credit for this. I'm using the Paragon board created by the content creator, Screamheart. He is even more passionate about the Druid class than I am. Please go check him out. I will gladly link everywhere you can find him in the description. But for the sake of this video, I still want to go over the Paragon board with you, and you may want to pause at times so you can copy it for yourself, or you can click onto my build link in the comments and look at it and have a visual guide there for yourself. All right, so this right here is what board number 1 is actually going to look like. And I'm just going to go ahead and hover over the glyph that we use, which is Exploit. All right, so here's a good look at board number 2. This is the Thunderstruck board. And the glyph that we're using for board number 2 is Spirit. All right, so going over to the right from board number 2, this is board number 3. And we actually use Inner Beast for this one. And the glyph that we use is Territorial. And we're going to be going over to the right again for board number 4. And this board is Constricting Tendrils. And for the glyph, we're actually using Fang and Claw. Now we're actually going to go back and go above board number 3. And this is actually going to be board number 5, Ancestral Guidance. And we are using the Werewolf glyph for this one. And actually to the left of board number 5 is going to be board number 6, Lust for Carnage. And right here we just finish up the board getting some extra attack speed. Alright, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and all I could ask for in return is that you would like this video and also consider subscribing to my channel. That would mean a lot to me because it's only up from here. I'm going to continue on making videos. And also, I do stream on Twitch actually a lot. And so if you could, please also go follow me over there. And I will actually have all of my links in my description. And again, thank you for watching. See ya.